òkè òkè ló máa rẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin yálọ́jà bàbá alájẹ ẹ sáré tètè máa bọ̀. Ọ̀tọ̀kùlú ènìyàn pátápátá ẹ sáré tètè máa bọ̀. Gbogbo olóṣèlú ń kọ́ o ẹ sáré tètè máa bọ̀. Ilé iṣẹ́ ńlá ilé iṣẹ́ kéékèèké ẹ sáré tètè máa bọ̀. Ẹ wá bá wa dòwò pọ̀ kájẹ́ wọ̀gá o ẹ sáré tètè máa bọ̀. Òkìtà ẹ̀rí yẹn sá lọ́lọ́jà ẹ̀yẹ ẹ sáré tètè máa bọ̀. Ìran kìnìún ṣàwọ̀ wọn láyé jù ẹ̀rù ẹ sáré tètè máa bọ̀. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun ṣáná kalẹ̀ sí o ẹ sáré.
Radio just got excited.
Let's go.
This is
Vicinity FM 95.3.
Enjoy.
It's Tuesday. It's the 27th of in the month of May, and just so you know, today is Children's Day. We celebrate every child out there that are beautiful. You know, children are the gift from the Lord. Yes, and then when we watch them grow, we just can't, have enough of all of their, what they do and how we love them. And today I celebrate every child out there, making us proud. And for those who were still, trying to tell them that, you're a child, do respect yourself, or you know what I'm saying? We still love them regardless, because we know they're going to be the future. They are the future, and we are so invested in their future. We know they're going to make us proud someday. So for every child out there, say Happy Children's Day to you. This is Newspaper Review. I'll bring you all of the top stories on our dailies and also the details of these headlines. I am Uluwafunke Israel. It's good to be here this morning at Vicinity 95.3 FM. I on the hilltop of Ikechile. Join us on the program this morning. You can catch us live on Facebook and YouTube at Vicinity 95.3 FM. Shall we begin? And I'll be taking the headlines on our dailies this morning from the Vanguard newspaper, Nigerian Tribune, Daily Trust, The Guardian, and The Punch. And on the front page of the Punch newspaper, congestion eats Lagos ports amid truck restrictions. Kidnapper eats Kubwa estate, old residents hostage, adopt two. Still on that story. Plot to bomb Abuja barracks twatted as IED explosives, kills career and injures two. Judiciary and the rule of law. Eldo Delta, kidnappers turn residents into cash cows. Sealing of secretariats, PDP fumes as Tinubu intervenes. It's brazen abuse of power. PDP may go ahead with board's neck meeting. PDP 4,793 orders given 14 days grace. It's not political winch hunt. Wike's age. PDP group to Wike, you are the real betrayer. As Makinde Mba keep mum on FCT minister. And FCTA, FIRS disagree over ground rent. DPO feared dead as youth set Kano police station ablaze. 42 killed in fresh Edders attack on Benue communities. In Saudi Arabia, deports Sheikh Gumi barred from Hajj. These are the top stories on the Vanguard newspaper. Now to Nigerian Tribune, MPA Dangote to deepen maritime industry growth, expand export operations, target $7 million daily revenue through fertilizer exports. Election of additional successor tops agenda as 6,000 AFDP delegates meet in Abidjan. Glow celebrate 20th anniversary of Uju Deoba sponsorship to give out cars, tricycles, other items. Oh, it's already Uju Deoba. He's here. Remember the last year they gave us a show, colorful event. I'd say one of the most colorful events in the world. You can argue with your whatever, with your phone, with anything. Uju Deoba Festival is one of the most colorful events in the world. Yeah, I said it. And I should give, Ijebu people, respect on that. They dress up and they just make the culture look so beautiful. I know last year really attracted a lot of people with a particular man who showed off. And until now, we can't stop speaking about that last year celebration of Uju Deoba Festival. We await what they have, up their sleeve this year, and I know it's going to be better. It's Yoruba. They, when it comes to organizing things like this, come on, give them. Just give it to them. Ground rent debt. Tinubu saves PDP. Orders FCTA gives them 14 days to pay up. Outcry greets sealing of PDP Secretariat. FIRS order defaulters' offices. PDM Fume says democracy under attack. Party holds National Caucus meeting at Bauchi Governor's Lodge. 4 reasons why Adeleke cannot join APC group. Hajj 2025, Saudi Arabia deport Sheikh Gumi. Mobile police officer, 41 others killed by suspected herders in Benue. This is sad. Reps bow to pressure, withdraw compulsory voting bill. Sit-at-home protest cost over 700 deaths in Southeast. Report it's inaccurate, unsubstantiated IPOB. Now to Daily Trust. On the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, Speaker Abbas withdraws second bill in 9 months. Why Saudi Arabia stopped me from performing Hajj. Gumi. 42 killed in fresh Benue attacks. As of hours to neck meeting, FCTA seals PDP headquarters. 1 dies in explosion near Abuja barracks. Kanu Mosque annoyed. Kanu Mosque arsonist to die by hanging. Another Abuja estate attack. Businessman adopted. DPO killed. Police station burnt after man dies in custody. This is sad. Now to the Guardian. Children's Day. Tackle bullying. Prioritize rights welfare. Stakeholders urge government. 2025 Hajj. Saudi Arabia denies Gumi entry as Jigawa task pilgrims on prayers. Demand for CFO drops in Lagos State, upgrades market. Opposition's internal crisis, legal battles threaten 2027 election. Over 12 billion people affected by infertility globally. Moi laments closure, extortion of Onitsha drug market traders. EFCC recovers part of 1.3 trillion naira from collapsed CBEX. Ground rents. Tinubu intervenes as FCTA grants 14-day grace to defaulters. Suspected RED explosion kills 1, injures another in Abuja. Reps withdraw compulsory voting bill over public pushback. Now to the Punch. Today's biggest headlines on the Punch. Insurgency, Tinubu Zulum in talks Over forest guards deployment, suspected herders kill cop 41 Benue villagers. Tension in PDP governors. BOT reconvene as NEC meeting stalls. The Mangum uncertain about NEC meeting. Atiku orders Sean National Caucus meeting. Ground rent FCTA shots PDP FIRS NATIP headquarters. $715 million loan World Bank pressures Nigeria for fresh tax hike. Oyo pays Osun 5 billion naira in Lautech ownership deal. Tinubu to inaugurate Lagos Calabar Highway Section 1 on Saturday. Biggest headlines on the front page of the Punch. Now I'll bring you details of this headlines. Please stay with us.
We are your connection to the sounds that surround you.
Hit music belongs here.
I got the keys to the city.
This is Vicinity FM 95.3. We are your connection.
Welcome back. Now on the Punch newspaper, $750 million loan World Bank pressures Nigeria for fresh tax hike. The World Bank has asked the federal government to issue a presidential order raising excise duties on sin goods. Now, these sin goods such as tobacco, alcohol, and sugar drinks as a key requirement under the $750 million loan granted to Nigeria to reform its non-oil revenue mobilization efforts. This requirement was captured in the World Bank's latest implementation status and results reports for the Accelerating Resource Mobilization Reforms Program for Results, which became effective on October 14, 2024 and is expected to close by November 2028. Sin goods. So all of us taking sugar, alcohol, tobacco, they say it's sin goods, so you are consuming sin goods. And now the World Bank, away from the distraction, that aside, the World Bank has asked the federal government to raise excise duties on these goods, meaning that people who would get to trade this exchange, that during exchange and trading, of course, they will raise excise duties, and you know what this means. So if you're bringing these things in, you will pay more. And now if the traders or retailers or traders, if they are going to purchase these goods, they have to pay more for excise duties. I know what this means. This will raise the price of these commodities and all of that. So I would say now maybe is the time to pay less attention to sin goods, as World Bank describe it, and then save yourself. Because right now, even if you go out there to buy a can of sugar drinks, you know how much they sell it. Before, we take it every day, because there was a time it was 100 naira, and every day some people cannot do without the sugar drinks, the soft drinks. You just go out there, bring out 100 naira. Now the cheapest I think is around 300, 400. So now you have to think twice. UTME receipts, candidates can't use initial score, says JAMB. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board has ruled out the possibility of candidates using their earlier Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination scores in place of results from the recent resit. JAMB's Public Communication Advisor, Fabian Benjamin, on Monday, told newsmen that the initial results have been voided and only the receipt scores will be recognized. You can't have two results. One must be withdrawn. That means the whole result has been withdrawn. Now this is sad, because for students who had better grades and the first results, they can't use it because you can't you can't play with two results. It's not that they are seeking two sittings. It's when you're trying to present maybe your senior certificate and other things that some schools, ask you to submit two results. Maybe you have two sittings. You have English here, you don't have math here. But JAMB is one, so they're not seeking two sittings. So if you have better results in the first exam that you sat for, you can't use it. You have to, stick with the recent one, the receipts. Honestly, if you say it's not fair, well, it is what it is. Oyo pays Osun 5 billion naira in LAUTECH ownership deal. The Oyo state government has announced that it has so far paid a total of 5 billion naira to the Osun state government as part of the agreement for the sole ownership of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, or Bomosho. The state commissioner for information and orientation, Dotun Oyelade, in a statement on Monday, said the state has been paying the sum of 1 billion naira yearly since the agreement was reached on November 20, 2020, with a total takeover amount being 8 billion naira. Oyelade said the state was on track to settle the remaining 3 billion naira before the end of Makinde's administration in May 2027. So, Osun State would have to cede the ownership of Ladoke Akintola University to Oyo, and based on the agreement, they're to pay 8 billion naira. Now, Oyo has made the payment of 5 billion. With 3 billion naira left, they will be the sole owner of Ladoke Akintola University. Still on the Punch, ground rent FCTA short, PDP FIRSC NATIB headquarters. So when the reports broke out yesterday, and people felt, maybe this was personal vendetta, but we should understand that the Federal Capital Territory Administration has said they would, seize these properties that have not paid ground rent for over almost 10 years. And unfortunately, PDP National Secretariat was also sealed by FCTA administration. Now, one would think is because Federal Capital Territory Minister Wike decided to pull out of the reconciliation PDP, reconciliation move. And that's why this happened. But it's kind of a coincidence. Now PDP has said that this is an attack on democracy. You will pay your ground rent if you're owing ground rent. The People's Democratic Party has criticized the Federal Capital Territory Administration Task Force for sealing off its national headquarters in Abuja over unpaid ground rent. At about 2 p.m. on Monday, the FCTA task force shut down multiple facilities, including the PDP National Secretariat in Wuse Zone 5, citing non-payment of ground rent. The action sparked outrage within the PDP, with its acting national chairman Umar Damangum labeling it as an act of irresponsibility by the federal government. Speaking after a national caucus meeting in Abuja, Damangum condemned the closure in strong terms. The story is on the Punch newspaper. Insurgency, Tinubu Zulum in talks over foreign guards deployment. President Bola Tinubu and the Borno State Governor, Professor Babangana Zulum, on Monday disclosed new strategies to curb the advance of jihadist factions of Boko Haram and the Islamic State West Africa province. The discussions center on bolstering security through the rapid deployment of forest guards and expedited delivery of arms and equipment to northeastern military formation. This followed a closed-door meeting at the Asarok Villa, Abuja, where Zulum said he briefed the president on the happenings in the state. Still on the Punch, tension in PDP, governors BOT reconvene as NEC meeting stalls. The National Caucus meeting of the People's Democratic Party on Monday concluded without a resolution, with the Governors Forum, the Board of Trustees leadership, and the Peace Committee, headed by former Senate President Bukola Saraki, set to meet on Tuesday to decide the way forward. For the stalled National Executive Committee meeting, PDP Acting National Chairman Umar Damangun told journalists after nearly 3 hours of the caucus meeting in Abuja on Monday, the discussion would resume today by 10 a.m. While meanwhile, several prominent members of the PDP National Caucus, including former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Namadi Sambo, as well as former Senate President David Mark and former Speaker House of Representatives Aminu Tambulwa, were absent from the meeting. It's been a while I had something from Namadi Sambo. If you remember, Namadi Sambo was the Vice President during the tenure of former President Goodluck Jonathan. Sometimes you just wonder where these people are. Well, they missed the meeting. That's what it is. And these are all of the stories I have for you on The Punch. Now, let's move to The Guardian.
Enjoy.
This brings me to The Guardian newspaper. Opposition, internal crisis, legal battles threaten 2027 election prospects. Emerging political developments have continued to cast doubt on the ability of opposition parties to present a formidable challenge to President Bola Tinubu and the ruling of Progressives Congress in the 2027 general elections. Most major opposition parties such as the PDP, Labour Party, New Nigerian People's Party, and Social Democratic Party are entangled in deep-seated internal crises and protracted legal battles that threaten their cohesion, credibility, and electoral readiness. Even the coalition forces that once boasted of unseating President Bola Tinubu and the ruling APC now appear uncertain, struggling to agree on a viable political platform. So now, opposition parties, major opposition, are not getting things right. There are internal crises in the opposition, and this is kind of it's looking as if, is this a coincidence, or is there more to this, that we have all opposition at this time? They have setbacks due to internal crisis. When a house is divided, a house that is divided against itself cannot stand. When there's crisis, you really cannot move forward. There won't be any plans. You can't get any plans ahead because you have to resolve the crisis to start with before you jump on other things that you can talk about. And before you talk about fielding, a candidate, or thinking of the candidate to field for the 2027 election. And this is kind of looking at, what is it that they cannot seem to resolve in the opposition? At this point, even the Labour, PDP, NNPP, and Social Democratic Party that recently got popular because El Rufai, the former Kaduna State governor, moved to SDP. There was a time there was this speculations that the coalition might decide to pick the Social Democratic Party as a platform for the coalition. Now there's been quietness around these, speculations anyways. And Social Democratic Party has even accused, coalition leaders that no, they should not come here and cause trouble in their party and make their party look bad because they still want to maintain, good relationship with the government at the central. You know what this means? And this is just the back and forth situation with these oppositions. And when are they going to get their act together and know that 2027 is just up our sleeves? Before you know it, election is here. And all we hear is crisis, crisis, crisis. And these parties, how are they going, to even get their act together before 2027? I hope they do, because at this point, while everyone is it's same as you, the country is moving towards a one-party system. And if you don't want it to move towards a one-party system, then they should get their act together before 2027. It's important. And still on the Guardian newspaper this morning. Well, President Bola Tinubu has decided to weigh in on the ground rent. The president saves PDP, FRS, and others give defaulters 14 days to pay. President Bola Tinubu has intervened to protect institutions and organizations that defaulted on the payment of ground rent, for which 4,794 have been sealed by the Federal Capital Territory Administration. At an emergency meeting briefing Monday evening, press briefing Monday evening, Director of Land Administration in the FCTA, Chijoke Nwakweze, announced that President Tinubu's intervention. Owners of the affected properties now have 14 days to settle the outstanding ground rent with associated penalties. For properties in the central area, the sum of 5 million naira will be paid by the defaulters as penalties, in addition to the ground rent. Hold. This story is on the Guardian newspaper. Well, President Tinubu departs Abuja for ECOWAS 50th anniversary. The president will leave Abuja tomorrow, today, Tuesday, for Lagos to celebrate, along with other leaders, the 50th anniversary of the Economic Community of West African States. The ECOWAS Golden Jubilee was flagged off in Akureke. Apologies, I beg your pardon. In Accra last month. The Lagos event will include reenacting the 1975 declaration at the Nigerian Institute of Internal Affairs in Victoria Island. At the Eco Hotels and Suites event, President Tinubu, the chairman of ECOWAS, realized the economic bloc's milestone. The chairman of the NIA and former Minister of External Affairs, Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, will review the bloc's 50-year journey, which panelists will be present. And the only surviving head of state, wow, who signed the ECOWAS declaration, General Yakubu Gowon, will participate in all the ceremonies and deliver a speech at the Eco Hotels. I tell you, sometimes age is a gift. You live to see some of these things. He was there at the time ECOWAS was established, and until now that ECOWAS lived to celebrate Golden Jubilee. Yakubu Gowon is still here. Grateful for the gift of life. Well, while we have, long life, we pray it's long life that is well lived. That's another point to consider. Well, ECOWAS has come a long way, 50 years since its establishment. That is huge. Now to other stories on education. WAEC fresh concerns over failure rates. Education. Over failure rates as education declined. Between 2008 and 2024, state governments, parents, and guardians spent over 122 billion on the West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination. However, the candidate pass rate has been poor. The absence of facilities, instructional materials, dearth of qualified teachers, and poor foundation at the primary school level, among others, contributed to the larger problem of education decline. Last April, to the chagrin of millions of Nigerians, the Lagos State government announced that 31,000 out of 56,000 students from public secondary schools failed the 2024 West African Senior Certificate Examination. The failure rates made a mockery of the 1.57 billion naira that the state government claimed it spent on enrolling students for the examination, as more than half of the candidates failed the examination despite the investment. And maybe we should invest in another thing and see how that goes. Maybe not in the examination, we should invest more in the tools and resources that can enhance, students to be more proactive in class, and then maybe this will help them, conquer their fears of sitting for exams and not sitting for exams, and also pass this exam is important. If we don't address the root cause and we just want to pay for the exams, paying for the exams and the students are not ready, they might still fail anyways. And what's the point? Investing in the examination that we get to see results students failing these exams. It's looking as if we're pouring money into something else instead of us to address other causes or the reasons why we've seen students fail in recent times, fail external exams in recent times. You can join the conversation this morning. Call us on 081-3237-1268 or leave a comment on our Facebook or YouTube page at Vicinity 95.3 FM. This brings me to the Punch. Saudi Arabia. Why Saudi Arabia stopped me from performing Hajj. Gumi. Saudi Arabia authorities have barred renowned Islamic scholar Sheikh Ahmad Gumi from entering the country to perform this year's Hajj. In a Facebook post on Monday, Sheikh Gumi revealed that although the Saudi government issued him a visa for Hajj, he was denied entry into Medina to begin his religious rites. For some obvious reasons, he said his views about world politics. The Saudi authorities are uncomfortable about his presence in the Hajj after giving him the Hajj visa, and he thanked Nigerian authorities who pledged to take up the matter immediately with Saudi authorities. And he said that this is the value of cherished freedom and democracy. The story is on the Daily Trust. One dies in explosion near Abuja barracks. One person died yesterday in an explosion at a bus stop in front of the Mogadishu cantonment, also known as Abacha Barracks, located along the Abuja-Inyanya Road in the Federal Capital Territory. Statement from the military and the police did not confirm any death, but videos from the scene show the dead man, who appeared to have been shattered, when lifted into a security vehicle. The incident, which happened at about 2:35 p.m., caused panic among residents and road users. The place where the explosion happened has residential houses for violently placed Nigerians at the back and the military barracks in front. Who doesn't like to live around them, military barracks? The story is on the Daily Trust newspaper. Speaker withdraws second bill in 9 months. The House of Reps Speaker Abbas Tajuddin has withdrawn legislative has withdrawn a controversial bill seeking to make voting compulsory for eligible Nigerians. The second legislative U-turn in 9 months following public backlash over bills widely criticized as undemocratic. This latest withdrawal comes after fierce opposition from civil society organizations, legal experts, and the public, who described the proposed law as unconstitutional and impractical. So the bill has been withdrawn. That sought to amend the Electoral Act 2022 to impose a 6-month jail term or a fine of 100,000 naira on any registered voter who fails to cast their ballots in national, state, or local elections. Why I would say that, for people to exercise their electoral civic duty, go out there to vote. Our country, we still haven't, figured out how to. While we always clamor for free, fair, and credible elections, people still fear that elections really somehow turn out sour, and this is one reason people don't go out to vote. So if we can address that, then we can come about. You don't even have to mandate people. The moment you create a system that works and people see that they are comfortable, they are safe, and their life is secure, honestly, they will do it with enthusiasm. You won't have to force them. While we agree that some countries in the world practice mandatory voting, countries that also have put a system together that encourages citizens to vote, not here where we're still, trying to figure out how to not allow people panic during, election season. Now it's even, we've seen, it's been relaxed. This increasing agitation among even residents, voters, Nigerians at large. Aside the voters, people just say election is coming. Hey, election. When there is election like this, don't go out, don't stay out late. Watch where you go and be careful about your moves. It's election period. There's this agitation in the hearts of Nigerians, and we have, thank God, the last election we didn't really have this situation this huge, but people still fear for their lives. And at this point, this should be addressed. You should, allow citizens, feel free and secure to go out there to vote. Then we can talk about mandating voting. But at this point, you won't even have to make it mandatory because people would really want to vote, and that is what it is. When they feel, that this system is okay, it's the system, really consider that they are secured, and then the system is so great that we all feel the need to vote. We all know our votes will count. We'll go out there and vote now. What's in the voting? After all, we're not going to pay money. It's not that we're buying goods and we'll pay for. I get my PVC, I go out there, I go perform my franchise, and that's it. And I come back home, not fearing that something will happen at polling units. People will go out there and vote. We're Nigerians. When we jump on things when we're enthusiastic about it, and we've seen this play out a number of times. You see, when there are public concerns, when issues are raised on, maybe something is just stirring public opinion, and when people feel that there's a need to jump on this, you see how Nigerians will jump on it like there's no tomorrow. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Well, I'm afraid this is where we get to say bye on newspaper review this morning. To catch up on some of the stories, you visit your dailies. I am Oluwafunke Israel, and this has been made possible by the executive producer, Iyade Sholasalami. Till I come away tomorrow, I leave you in the hands of your maker. And let me say thanks to the technical crew for putting this together.
Welcome to the heartbeat of the city. We have the rhythm of the streets. Vicinity FM 95.3. Welcome to the heartbeat of the city. We are your connection to the sounds that surround you.
And I felt like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I
Hit music belongs here.
I got the keys to the city.
This is Vicinity FM 95.3.